This is Pixel Theorist, and today I'm going to be explaining to you my theory on how strings can vibrate through time and energy changes on an object can push it into another dimension. So, for example, you have an object, a normal three-dimensional object made out of atoms, same particles that make up everything else. So, it is in three dimensions: width, depth, and height. But when there's an energy change, say for example, moving the object or heating it up, it is pushed into the forwards time dimension. As you can see on the graph here, UO for unforced object is in width, depth and height, and forced object, FO, is in width, depth, height and forwards time. So now, when you apply this method into a string, what you have is a string in forwards time dimension and backwards time dimension with one of the following dimensions: width, depth and height. Because a string is in forwards time and backwards time, it is constantly vibrating infinitely quick forwards and backwards in time. So of course, but when you add force to an object, to a string, it is in these it is in two of width, depth and height. But as of course, adding force or energy changes to an object, to a string, is theoretically impossible, because as you're probably aware of, a string is only one dimensional, one physical dimension. So that means all forces known in humanity are three-dimensional. For example, gravity needs something to hold on to when it's pulling. So this means if a one-dimensional object doesn't have any surface area, so it has no mass, so nothing for gravity to act on. So to make a string force, you will need to have a one-dimensional force. So this theory requires and suggests two time dimensions.